morning. Today is a different video to the usual reviews. Today is a kind of featured video. It's a video that's going to take the journey of EV ownership. I've decided to sell on my Golf this year and move into an EV vehicle, and I've shortlisted a number of vehicles, and this week I'll be going through my initial test drives. Many weeks has gone ahead of this video, lots of planning, shortlisting vehicles, and I've decided to stick to the Golf kind of size because that's the size I'm more comfortable with. I'm not a big fan of saloons or SUVs. I would go as far as potentially doing crossovers or small SUVs like the Volvo EX30, but I like to stick to these smaller cars really. I'm not a big car person. Golf is my kind of limit. It's very practical for me, so I'm looking for similar practicality. A nice big display is important. Obviously CarPlay is also important. So I've shortlisted a few vehicles. I've shortlisted 5 vehicles that I'll be test driving over the next week and a half. Today I'll be test driving the Cupra Born, and then a few hours later I'll be test driving the ID.3. The following day, tomorrow, I'll be test driving the Peugeot E208 and also the Mini E electric Cooper SE line. And then the following week I'll be test driving the Megane E-Tech. Now, if you're not in the know, both ID.3 and Cupra Born are pretty much the same car underneath. So they both share similar functionalities, sizes and everything. It's just like more cosmetic differences between the Born and the ID.3. Unfortunately, both cars today, they are not the new facelift models, so we won't be seeing the bigger screen and a few of the extra improvements in the Cupra Born. I will be test driving the V2 standard, and the ID.3 is the older model as well. Now, I don't think I have much time in the Cupra Born. They only allow 15 to 30 minutes, which is quite short to get a feel for the car, I think. The ID.3, I think I can have up to an hour unsupervised, so I'm definitely going to be taking them up on that and tell you my initial impressions from the get-go, basically, and see how that drive is. Have a look around the car, interior, exterior, and its infotainment system, and give you my full impressions on that car at least. Okay, so I'm going to head to Cupra and pick up the video from there. Right, so we're in the Cupra Born and I've just had my test drive. Very easy transition between the Golf and the Cupra Born. Everything does set up itself very similar. Generally, very impressed with the Cupra Born. I would say this sort of scratchy plastic kind of feel does cheapen the car a little bit. I hear that the Megane inside is going to be a lot more luxurious, so that is something of a little bit concern, because you think the amount of money that you're spending, it should really be worth the money, really. It's got a nice display, even though everyone does say that it does have lots of niggles and it's quite slow. In my experience, I don't know if all these updates have improved it. I think it's actually okay. And if the updated model has an improved system, then I think it's going to be pretty decent over this, because I thought this is actually not too bad. I've seen a lot worse. It is a little bit glitchy and you're very similar to like an Android tablet, but glitching wise, it's more to do with the smoothness of everything rather than anything else. Access to the climate and everything else is very quick and easy across these tabs across the top. You've got some interactivity to your connected phone. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto appears down here. I've got Android Auto currently connected, and it's actually a nice system. You've got a very cool display here which shows you all the information. Changing the gears is actually done with the stalk end here, and you can throw it into park mode on the end. You've got light connection area here to change the lights. Here's your stalk for your windscreen wipers, which is probably my biggest dislike in this car, in that it does this. So in the UK, that downstrike can leave a line. It hasn't done it now, so if you've got decent wipers, it's not a problem. But should that start to fail, you're going to get this line coming down here in your vision. You can also see the heads-up display here. It's not too bad. Shows you like lane assist or cruise control indicator here. You've got your speed and your current speed and your speed on the road. This can be moved up and down. I had the demo instructor move this down for me. I thought that was quite good. Touch wheel controls, probably not a fan if I'm honest. These were a button, they'd be a little bit more better. The same on here as well. It's all like slidey, and because there's no like light behind them, we don't really know which is what. I assume this is like climate control, etc., but it's a little bit awkward, and I'm tapping it and nothing's coming I'm kind of not getting any feedback. Oh, it's up here. That's the feedback. Heated seats, standard in the V2 model that I'm in. You got navigation built in, but you're probably going to end up using CarPlay or Android Auto. Fairly easy access to get to things. I was very similar to the Golf in a way, so not the end of the world. You can change brightness, touchscreen, touch tone. I guess that gets annoying after a while, and setting languages, Wi-Fi and so on. As for comfort, seats are very nice. They're actually like fabric seats. They're not leather or pleather, and they are very comfortable. I think I could easily do a long drive in this. You've got a nice big open cubby hole here for your bottle drinks and for storage down in that area there. This does sit quite high. It's not banging my leg though. It's much narrower than a Golf one is. Down here you do have metal pedals. You do have a footrest plate for cruise control. This is a lot narrower than the Golf, but I like that you don't have these rubber pedals as you might do in the Megane. So that's that. Down here I was testing out wired CarPlay and wireless CarPlay. You've got a charging plate here for your phone, and obviously that's going to keep it powered, but you've got a very nice deep area here. That's at least up to just below my elbow for that. And I've looked in the boot. The boot's a nice good boot space. I'll put down below what the literage is there. Definitely ample boot space. The V3 has the middle hole, pilot hole window, so that's a thing that you might want to have to upgrade to if you want a center compartment for longer things. Otherwise you've got to put the whole 3 seats down to get the best storage space in the car. In the back it's not too bad. Let's go in the back and see what the back's like. Right, so in the back of the Cupra Born, definitely very nice and comfortable, plenty of legroom. This seat is set for me, and I have at least over a hand's length before my knees are hitting the back of the seat. Lots of storage, quite low, overhanging storage there. You can put your feet underneath, which is really nice to see if you were a tall person with long legs. This is supporting the bottom of my legs, and this is totally comfortable to me. This is digging the back of my neck, but you can bring this up, and this is really nice and comfortable. I like it. No center down, that's in the V3 model, I believe. You got the handles here to open up the doors, and then you've got the electric windows for the windows here. Nice big space here to view out of. The view in front's not too bad as either, and you do get, as a passenger, quite a nice big gaping room there. Even though the screen doesn't come that far back, it does feel a bit airy, and I can imagine what the panoramic roof could do in this vehicle and how much more lighter it might feel, but for now it's not too bad. Hard plastic up top, some kind of textured ridge, which I'm sure is where the speaker would come out of if it's not down here. This model, I could definitely tell it's only 2 speakers at the front. It would have been nice to have more speakers in this car. Down here we've got 2 USB-C connecting ports here for the phone, which is really nice to see. No pass-through of ventilation, which is normally what you would expect in the Golf kind of area here. So all the air is going to come down that end there. You've got ISOFIX for child seats, which is really nice to see. These just flip out and connect onto here, which is great for car seats. Plenty of room here for a car seat to connect onto, and you do have a small little back shelf there. It is quite narrow, but the rear view is actually quite good. I thought it was okay. And you do have a little camera underneath the bumper above the number plate, and that comes as standard, which is good to see as well. But yeah, I can definitely experience a nice long drive in the back of this if I was able to sit in the back whilst I'm driving. So this is a V2 standard edition. It's not the e-boost model, which has bigger brakes, 2 functions for selecting the mode and Cupra mode on the wheel itself. A few other additions, but otherwise you get this e-boost function, which it will allow you to get an extra boost in its performance. Now, driving this out today, I didn't feel that actually was necessary. The car was definitely great at pulling away when you need it. And even though I had one of the reps next to me, I didn't really want to give it the beans. But when I did on a dual carriageway, it really did go for it. And it sounded good as well at speed. It wasn't so windy. at around about 60 miles an hour. I felt it was actually quite good at that. Its size is nice. It does feel a little bit thinner than the Golf, but it does have a much deeper dash for me, so that's something I would have to get used to. The screen level up here is very similar to a Golf, and it probably goes down a little bit more, but it feels more sort of curved inwards to make you feel that it is a smaller car. But I'd say width wise it's very similar to the Golf in terms of its interior, with a bit nicer door panels and footing for your elbows than the Golf. It's nice that you've got a charging connection here and lots of deep storage. You do have a very small glove box that's been taken up by the fuse board. They basically got a little bit lazy and didn't do a special right hand drive version, so that gets in the way unfortunately. So very small glove box there. Quite deep pockets though for storage on the passenger and driver's side. There's these annoying switches here for the mirrors. You have to tap this to go and adjust the rear view windows as well, but you do have some control over the mirrors here too, as well as folding them. The air vents are lower down, so that is something to think about, and finding a phone cradle if you wanted it in the dash. You kind of limited it in this area here, probably not in this cubby hole. You could probably have your phone facing up here otherwise. Fairly deep holes for bottles and things like that. So overall, lots for storage there to enjoy. So this is a 58 kilowatt hour car, V2 standard. There is a 77 kilowatt, it's going to give you much better range. As you can see here, we are at 72%, 160 miles of range. So I'll put that down below what that actually means in this particular car and how it's been driven. I didn't unfortunately get to test regenerative braking. I just drove on D throughout the test, but hopefully I'll be able to get back in this car with the updated system and be able to test out a few more of the features now that I've driven it, and there's less to talk about and just focus on more of the upgrades in that car. Okay, so that's the Cupra Born. Quick overview of my impressions on the Cupra Born. I've got 4 other cars to test drive, and I'll hopefully bring the same kind of content to those vehicles as well. All right, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if it has been helpful, and let me know in the comments what kind of other vehicle I should be trying out in future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.